It is real.
Yeah, it's nice. The way the crowds.
I used to have really a lot of hair and very long hair, and menopause just decimated it. So now I keep it short.
Short.
Yeah.
It looks good on you though.
Thank you. No, everybody hates it, including my husband. But I'm like, yeah, I'm not 15 anymore. I used to have like a lot of
You
hair
guys have long, thick,
and long, thick hair. But yeah, it's all, yeah.
It just looks good. Hi everyone, I'm Lynette, and today we are going to have a conversation talking about health journeys in women, and a health journey that probably most people don't talk about, but we all eventually get to face: menopause. Today on the show we have our guest. Let me introduce our guest, Gelila. Thank you so much for having us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
So today we are talking about menopause. Would like you to tell us what exactly is menopause?
Menopause. Okay, it's a journey that every woman will go through at one point in life. But let me first start by saying thank you for having the courage to talk about menopause. I know you're very young, but thank you for having me on your platform so that we can talk about this very important topic that's not talked about openly in our communities, in our households, among friends. So it's really important that we talk about it and that we bring women around this topic to be comfortable about it. So what is menopause? Menopause is a stage in life that women lose their periods. It's much more than that. It starts probably sometime in the 30s or in the 40s of a woman's age, when the estrogen level starts to go down in women. The number of eggs that we produce starts to go down. We start to experience quite a lot of different changes in our bodies and our moods, in who we really are. So that's called the perimenopause period, and it can last anywhere between 10 to 15 years, depending on one woman to the other. Then comes the actual menopause, which is 1 year without any period, and some of these symptoms sometimes intensify during this time. And then the postmenopausal period, which comes mid-50s to after, is that period after menopause that we have not had a period for over a year. Some of the symptoms begin to subside. Some women will continue to have some of the symptoms and the after effects of a low level of estrogen and progesterone. And these are the key hormones that every woman has. I do have to say I'm not a medical professional. I'm simply a woman at 50 who's going through the perimenopause period. So it's very important that we tell your audience this is not coming from a medical professional, but rather from a woman who's going through the perimenopause period.
So, like you mentioned to us that you're going through menopause. So, I would like to know about your journey through menopause. How did you get to know about the menopause? How has your journey been like so far about menopause?
How has the journey been so far about menopause? Wow. Okay. So I am still in the perimenopause period. The period is irregular. I can't really pinpoint when it started. The symptoms started to creep in very slowly. I would have to say I had been going through different changes for 3-4 years before I actually realized, oh wow, this is menopause. I was going through the sleepless nights. I could not sleep more than 3 to 4 hours every night. I'm hot 1 minute, cold another. I had body ache all over. I saw many different doctors. I went through therapy, got temporary relief, but not really lasting relief. The brain fog. I could not remember people's names, and I work with them every day. I would stare at an email for 2 hours, not really knowing while I'm staring at that particular email. Then the weight gain. I was not changing the way I was eating. In fact, I was eating much less than what I used to, but the weight gain was creeping in the wrong places. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand what was going on with me. Then the mood swing. I think, I hope, and I think every woman can possibly relate to this. My mood swings were really uncontrollable. I didn't understand what was going on with me. It was really isolating. 1 minute I would be crying and laughing at the same time. I would be very angry about a particular issue, and 2 minutes later, I don't quite remember what I was angry about. So people around me could not really understand what was going on with me. I couldn't understand what was going on with me. So I think it's a plethora of different symptoms that were creeping in, that were there for 3-4 years, but I really did not know what was going on with my body. 3-4 years of hair falling out, of dry skin, of really getting tired every day. I would sleep and I would wake up and I would still be very tired. It was several years of not knowing what was going on with me. Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so that was a very difficult experience, but I would like you to tell us about the risks that people might not know about when you're going through such an experience, such a life-changing experience for a female person.
Now that I know, now that I'm better educated, now that I have read about it, now that I have talked to medical professionals about the risks that come along the changes in hormonal levels. The first and the biggest one is obviously related to weight gain. Weight gain comes with its own other risks, right? Including diabetes. Then comes the heart-related issues, because the dropping level of estrogen has an impact on our heart. So it's not uncommon for women to have heart problems as they age. Our bones become very weak and very brittle. Our muscles become very weak and very brittle. So the pain, but also fractures are very common in women as we age, because our bones weaken. With the lack of the different important hormones. The estrogen and progesterone have a very important role in our system. So as we lose them, then some of these risks heighten. And then there are those subtle different risks that we have. Body odor changes, our skin changes because it becomes really dry. I mean, there's quite a lot, but medically speaking, and again, I'm not a medical professional, but this is from quite a lot of engagement with medical professionals, doctors, and reading a lot. Really, the osteoporosis, the bone-related problems, the heart-related problems, the weight-related problems, and everything that comes with weight gain is really medical risks that we face, that we're not told about, that we don't know about until they creep in.
Yeah.
So, yes, quite a lot of related problems and medical risks that menopause has.
So we'd like to know, what can women do, and what did you do that actually helped you go through those, most especially those first stages where you were experiencing a lot of psychological, physical, and very many other challenges?
So let me start first by noting how I found out about it. There was a day, and I distinctly remember that day. I was in the office and I just could not stay. I just could not focus. I was crying. I did not know what I was crying about, and I was in the office. So I decided to just close my door. I told my team, I'm really sorry. Today is not the day for me. I'm leaving. And I went to the doctor, and mind you, I had been outside of Uganda seeking solution, but I didn't get that solution. No doctor had ever asked me to do, because of my age, had ever asked me to do a hormone test. And I'm so grateful for this particular doctor that particular day who told me, but you are of the age of menopause. Maybe you should take the hormone test so that we find out what the issue is.
Yeah.
And she asked me to stay at the hospital to get the result. And I was patient, and patience is really not my forte. I stayed for 2 hours waiting for the results to come out. And when the results came out and she explained them to me, it was the aha moment. It was a revelation that, wow,
this is really
at 48,
happening.
I am going through menopause. I'm 50 now, so I've been through this journey for 2 years. But it was at 48 that my hormone level was so low that I was experiencing the symptoms of menopause. And so what do I do? And again, I'm not a medical professional, but there are different ways of going through this journey. One is through the medical therapy side, where doctors can prescribe for you the hormone replacement for a few years. You start it at the perimenopause stage and you go through it for several years. but there's also the natural way, and the way that doctors definitely recommend. So first is obviously regulating your stress level, managing that, finding time for yourself, because stress levels do worsen the symptoms of menopause. The second one is eating well, and by that I'm not meaning eating expensive. I'm meaning...
You might say eating well, people will think it's eating expensive.
No, it's not. It really is increase your intake of vegetables, fruits, lower the salt, increase your intake of fruits and vegetables, the healthy food. Nakasero market has everything.
Yeah.
So it's not about eating expensive, it's about eating right.
Organic food.
It doesn't even have to be organic. Everything that we have in Uganda, we're so blessed, is organic anyway. So it's really eating the right food, reducing your stress level, finding time for yourself, sleeping and resting well. Those are really fundamental. Then comes the supplements that you can take. For instance, calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D are not only good to manage your stress level and pain that you have with muscles, with nerves, etc., but they help you also sleep better. They also help with bone density. Then you can do omega-3 fatty acids, fish oil, evening primrose oil. They're really good in managing your heart issues, but also managing hormones. And managing dry skin. So it's really good. The fatty acid is really important, and I do personally take those as well. For energy, for mental well-being, for good mental functioning, I do take my vitamin Bs, particularly B12. They're really important. If you come to my office, you see always vitamin B and vitamin D are on my desk so that I don't forget to take them. And they've really helped me get through the day. Again, naturally, they're supplements. They're available in any pharmacy here. And they really help with the energy level, with converting food into energy. The vitamin D is essential for immune system. It's essential for the bone. So I said calcium, magnesium, vitamin D, the fatty acids like fish oil or evening primrose oil. And the vitamin Bs are really, really important. You eat well, exercise, and I'm not saying pay $2,000 to go to Kabira, absolutely not. All I'm saying is, just regular 30 minutes walking around the neighborhood if you can, add some weight if you can, just because women lose muscle very, very fast during menopause. I'm sure you've noticed, not only do we put on weight, but we also lose our muscle density.
Yes.
So I think, adding a little bit of weight to just routines, very simple walking is more than enough. If you feel like, no, I want to go to the gym, absolutely. But this is the time of life that we want to increase so that we make sure our heart is also pumping, it's working, and we manage our metabolism, our insulin levels, etc. So it's we have quite a complicated ecosystem in our body that has been previously, when we were your age, regulated by the hormones that are no longer there. So I think managing it through supplements and good eating and good habits and good movement habits is good. I would say one thing that we do take for granted is, and that we don't do, is really talking to people around us about what we're going through.
Yes.
I have to admit, it's a topic that's not talked about.
Yes.
Let's be very honest with each other. We don't talk about it. It's not talked about with my mother. It's not talked about with my siblings. And I have older siblings who have gone through this, who haven't told me what they went through. So talking about it with people that are around us, that we love, who are our support system, I think is absolutely critical, because they can be there during the emotional stages.
Because they can relate.
Exactly.
They can relate to what you're going through.
At the end of the day, they are our support system. So giving them a good understanding of what you're going through when you go through menopause, I think is very important. Our spouse is included. I think I'm blessed enough to have a fantastic husband who now understands after 30 years of marriage his wife is going through menopause. So I think it's an area that we need to talk about with our other halves as well. Our spouses need to understand this is a stage in life.
From a female point of view.
Exactly.
This is what I'm going through. I need your support.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not something that just like that we can get rid of. It's a journey that takes several years
of life.
It's another chapter of our life that we embrace together with people around us. But it's also important to educate women your age so that when they come to their 30s and their 40s, they demand those tests. Those tests are available.
So that you're not shocked with a wow.
Exactly, so that you're not going through it without knowing what exactly you've gone through. I think our mothers have gone through it without knowing, and that has to stop there.
Yes.
I think the younger generation coming needs to know about it, needs to talk about it, but also needs to demand tests.
Have education about it, be informed.
Exactly.
So it is to happen. We are not, you're not shocked and you're like, oh my God, my life is coming to an end. This is it. Because most people literally think that when you're going through menopause, society has it that when a woman hits menopause, like that is it. It's the end of life.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
Your purpose as a woman is there. It has ended there. But that's not true.
I could not agree with you.
It's just another phase of life, just like how a young girl nurtures herself when she goes through menstrual periods, she goes through childbirth and everything. It's just another phase of life that we are meant to appreciate and go through it with a positive effect.
Absolutely. This is another chapter in life that we're going to embrace. And the more all of you know about it, younger generation, but also women of my age, the more we talk about it, I think the more sharing of experiences and the better it will be for all of us going through this. I think for me at 50 now, it's a chapter. It's a new chapter that I'm very much appreciating, that I'm very much embracing, and I'm looking forward for the next few years of the same journey, of the ups and downs that I will continue to go through. But at least now I know and I'm informed and I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So this was a very beautiful story. So do you have any final words for people out there?
Embrace the change. Embrace the change. You can't escape it, but embrace it, manage it, talk about it. It's a whole new chapter for us.
Thank you so much,
You're
Gelila.
most welcome. Thank you for having me.
It was really an honor having you here.
Thank
you. So this was a very beautiful story. And for everyone out there, like, share, talk about it. And we can always, always, always lift each other up. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.